there's a moment that a lot of people don't talk about, the space between deciding you want something and actually becoming the person who can hold it. Because the dream is one thing, but stepping into it, being seen and owning it.
A lot of people I feel can get comfortable in just wanting it and not taking the action.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
of fear of actually getting it and doing the work. Because it calls you to a whole nother level. January will make 8 years in LA, but I did a musical theater tour in Italy for the last 3 months. The difference between wanting it and going after it. And sometimes it's just comfortable to dream about it and to keep it as a dream. But it's like, no, you have to have that inner strength.
What would you say to that person that's sitting on the fence right now and wanting to take that step, but they're just not quite moving?
Just do it. If it's on your mind, if it's on your heart, you're meant to do it, and God got you, honestly.
Welcome to another episode of the Starter Girlz Podcast, where girls isn't about gender, it's about grit. We celebrate the dreamers, the builders, and the difference makers bold enough to start. I'm your host, Jennifer Loehding, and wherever you are tuning in today, we are so glad to have you. All right, and with that, we are going to bring our guest on today. So let me tell you a little bit about her. This is Belle Guillory, an actress and filmmaker whose career has been gaining serious momentum. So fun. She moved to LA after earning a scholarships to study at New York Film Academy and had a breakthrough role in the film Bitch Ass, which went on to win the Audience Award at SXSW. Beyond acting, she's also stepping into filmmaking and using her platform to speak on representation, breaking barriers, and creating space in the industry. So, Belle, welcome to the show. We are so excited to have you here today.
Woo, thank you for having me. Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here. Let's get it.
It's gonna be fun, isn't it? You have such a great personality. I saw you over there, like moving them hands and getting. I love it when I'm an energy feeler, so I feel people's energy. So I like know right away when I get on. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a fun one. I can just tell already.
Yes, because what you were saying, I was like, not you preaching. The difference between wanting it and becoming that person, I was like, maybe that's something I needed to hear right now because it was the truth.
It is. And you know what? In the world that I, came from, having all those years of Mary Kay, I mean, we would talk about that so much. And it's crazy because even like the other day, I was having a conversation with someone and we were talking about something that I was kind of trying to map out with with this show. And he was like, oh, I could see you doing this. But I was like, you know what? You have to. Wanting something and doing it are two different things. And you have to want something, right? And then put it into action. You can't, and you can't always go the other way. I mean, if you put something in action, you don't really want it, that
Yep.
doesn't work either, right? So there's something to be said about knowing what you want and then claiming it, owning, and stepping into it. So
100%. And a lot of people I feel can get comfortable in just wanting it and not taking the action.
oh
Because
yeah.
of fear of actually getting it and doing the work. Because it calls you to a whole nother level. It
Yeah.
really does.
Yeah. Okay, so I want you to take us back, girl, because I'm gonna tell you this. So the other day, just to tell you, I just put this little in there, and and you'll see why I'm saying this to you. So the other day, we have season tickets to this. It's called the Firehouse Theater here in Carrollton, and it's basically this firehouse that they've transformed into a theater, and they do all these productions over there, and they're so good. Like we've seen producers, I saw an '80s thing over there. I just got through watching the Addams Family, but it was a bunch of young kids that did the Addams Family, and oh my gosh, Belle. They were so good. I mean, I'm talking little kids to maybe high school. Like this, it's like this theater for this group that put this on. They did such an amazing job. So this is leading me to what I'm saying, wanting to know from you, because obviously I know you're not that old. Did you, like, from day one, like the moment you could figure this out, know that you wanted to go into acting, or did someone tell you you had the gift? Tell me how this came about for you.
Wow, that is such a good question. Well, one, I am the eldest of 8. So,
Wow.
storytelling, making up stories, playing, we'd put on our own shows, whether that was making our own American Idol or,
I love it. Oh my
um,
gosh.
reciting lines from movies. Like we just did that for fun. But then I will never forget, I did my first like theater play when I was like 13
Okay.
and in junior high. And I remember from that moment, like later on in the year, they gave me the best actor award. And mind you, I was like a side character. And I was like, oh, this is something I can really do. But then I told my mom I was interested in it because I used to love Disney Channel. Like, the That's So Ravens. I was
Yep.
like,
My
I
kids
need to be
did. Yep.
yes. I was like, I
I
need
know
to
the
be them.
shows. Yep.
When it was really solidified for me is when I don't know if you remember, like, when agents and stuff would come to do, like, a talent show thing to see, like, if they could find talent. One came to our hometown, and my mom saw it as a sign because I just asked. So when we went, I remember I tried to sing a song, but I was so shy. They were like, "Try to read this commercial." And I did it, and they instant was like, "Yeah, you're meant to be doing this." And that's when it, like, solidified for me, like, "Oh, okay, acting, like, I can really do this." Like you said, like, wanting it to, like, "Okay, you can actually pursue this."
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what's interesting to back up your point, like when I was watching that performance the other day, they were all very good, but there were certain characters in there that really had that just there was something about them that was like they had that gift, like you just knew they had that gift, right? Like you just meet those people sometimes. So I'm not into acting, but it's funny that you said, like when you were a kid that y'all would do this stuff, because I believe it or not, I did that stuff too when I was a kid. And I would be
I
like,
believe it.
we're putting on a play and I'm directing. Yeah, I'm gonna tell everybody where you need to go.
Right.
I'd
Right,
write
you're
the
my
skit.
choir, everything.
Yeah, I'd write the skit. I'd like come up with the idea of what this was gonna be, and I would find the characters. I'd be telling everybody where they're gonna stand, what they're gonna do, and all that stuff. So
Mhm.
funny how life is, how we do that firstborn stuff, right? It's great. So, but I
Yes.
have to say kudos to your mom too for that many kiddos, and I mean,
Yeah.
amazing to your mom, right?
No, for sure, and it's so funny you bring that up because my sister the other day, since I'm visiting home, she said that she was traumatized by my notebook because I'd always carry this notebook of what they needed to do. So that's so funny, like,
So
we get
great.
it.
That's so great. Well, hopefully I didn't traumatize, but I'm sure somebody's got some stories about me traumatizing them, telling them something they needed to do, right? But I think it's funny how, like I always talk about this, how, like if you really go back and look at
Mhm.
the things you did when you were a child, if you're really into your gifts and your calling and strengths, you're
Yeah.
doing those things. And so I told my husband one day, I said, everything that I do in my world now, true story, everything I do in my world is really what I was doing when I was a kid. I create
Yeah.
things. I'm a creator. I podcast. We didn't have podcasting back then, but I would record myself on my cassette player. I did that stuff. I was
Oh,
around pets. I have a pet sitting business, and I was an entrepreneur as a child because I was always creating businesses. So if you really hone into your gifts and you're intuitive and you follow that, you will find that a lot of those really do surface in the work. And I think the beautiful thing is when you can figure out what you're really good at and you enjoy pair that together, you got a
yeah,
winning combination. So
100%,
yeah, I love
100%,
it.
I love that.
So you moved to LA, been there 8 years. Tell us a little bit about that because you got a scholarship and then you in act at the New York Film Academy and then you moved into LA. So tell us a little bit about what that. I'm sure the transition, all of those things that go with
Yeah,
it.
it was a big transition, it was a big move, so I moved, yeah, to LA to go to NYFA, New York Film Academy, the LA campus, because people are always like, "New York, but you're in LA." They have multiple campuses,
Okay.
and I studied acting for film, but the great thing about NYFA is whatever field you go into, since it's like a conservatory, they teach you all aspects of film. So I had a screenwriting class, I had, um film history classes, so we got to really learn all about the craft. And then so after that, like you said, 8 years, your girl started working, your girl started grinding. I was an assistant to, like, Stephen Gyllenhaal, also Tracy Ellis Ross, so I learned, like, a lot from the greats before me.
Yeah.
I worked on
Wow.
sets like Westworld season 4,
Oh my
and
goodness.
just, like and I also had the opportunity to work on the corporate side at Warner Brothers. And so it was really cool. So I got the corporate experience, the onset experience. Like people tell me, well, my mom, she always tells me, you learned every aspect of that business. And
Yeah.
I really did. And while doing that, I also acted in front of the camera, whether that was commercials for like Marvel, BJ's restaurant to bitch ass.
I like that. You got to tell us about that in just a few minutes. We're going to get to
Yeah.
that.
Yes. And then also creating my own stuff, being a filmmaker myself and honing my craft and taking my directing skills from a kid, and applying that to the real world now, having my own team, running them, and then learning. I even worked in distribution for a little bit, so how to distribute
Wow.
my own projects. So it's like I really learned so much, and now I feel like I'm really in a place to just grow into my craft and apply all those things.
Yeah. No, and it's great that you did do that because I think so often, like, we get so into like what is our thing that we're good at. We're stuck in that. And it's
Mhm.
not that you have to do all those other pieces, right? But it just makes you understand the process. And now you kind of
Yes.
understand what goes on here. It's kind of like I say about podcasting because I've done every part of the podcasting phase, meaning from the producing to I book my guest. I do all
Mhm.
of that. Like I decide how the show, like the kind of the questions, the things I want to talk. I study the person before I do that. Then there's all you go from there. Then it goes into editing. And then you go into, okay, now we got to do thumbnail creation and clips and all that. Then you go into, what I mean? There's all these pieces you go through. So I kind of joke how I'm like, I could teach somebody how to do a very low budget podcast, like start a low budget podcast and build it. I mean, we're at almost 40,000 followers in YouTube now. So anyway, so I think it's great that you did that because it makes you well-rounded and skilled, and even, that you have a desire in an area you really want to focus in. It gives you the ability to kind of be a little bit diverse too.
It does. It makes me diverse, and just to add to your point on how you also learn everything, I feel like it makes you a better leader as
Yeah,
well, because you
yeah.
know every job that needs to be
Right.
done, so you have empathy, you have more understanding, and like you said, you can also teach. So I feel like,
Mhm,
yeah, because you just remind me of Issa Rae. Do you know Issa Rae?
mhm.
She had her web series. She did everything, and she says now that she's grown so much into, having her own TV shows,
Yeah,
like, if something's wrong in an area, she goes in because she knows how to do it. So it's
right.
like, yeah, I feel like it just makes you, like you said, well-rounded and
Yeah.
you know what you're doing.
Yeah, it does, but if you're like me and you're a perfectionist, it also can be a
Oh,
curse sometimes too because then you get in your own
true.
way, right? Like you're like it's funny because like when I get done here, I'm releasing an episode today just to tell you this. Now that's not my only thing I do. Like I have a pet sitting business, I have other things I do, right? But
Oh,
I love podcasting, probably like you do acting. So
yeah.
I could just continue to keep having these and spit episodes out, and like it'd be fine. It'd be a full time gig, right? Okay, but I've had to tell myself, Belle, that okay, you have a certain amount of time to do edits. Let it go. Let it go.
Ooh, that
Breathe.
is the
And what
truth.
I mean by that, it's not just the production because when you'll see, like when I do my work, I want to make sure I try to make everybody look good. I'm trying to shine
Thank
you in
you.
a good. Okay, so I do that with everybody,
Make me
but
look
it's
good.
also not even that. It's even like thumbnail creation because I will do a thumbnail and I'll be like, I don't like it, and I will put them out sometimes and don't like it, and I go back and change them because I don't like it. It does. I don't think it fits the theme because it's like probably what I say is creators. We all do this that we put our heart into our work, and so it's a representation of who we are, right? And so we feel that stuff. And
Yeah.
so I look at something, I'll be like, this is not fitting the brand. This doesn't fit the person. And so there's a whole process. If I told you
No,
everything,
yeah.
sometimes that's what I said. You have to go to train somebody. It's harder to train. It's just
No,
easier to
yeah.
do it.
Yeah, and you're right. When it comes to creativity, you have to find a place to stop, or you could keep doing it
Yes.
forever.
Yeah.
Because I agree. I'm writing a script. You'll want to keep rewriting up until
Yeah.
filming. And like, so you do have to find a place of like, okay, you know what? This is good enough. I have to
Right.
just let her free. Let the
Let
baby
her go.
fly.
That's
Yeah.
right, yeah, sometimes it's good to have another set of eyes, right, like, to take it
Yeah.
over because you're right, you will get bogged, and I think a lot of creators I don't wanna speak for everybody, but I think a lot of us are like that. We take pride in
Yeah.
our work, and it's important to us that it's good, but I will tell you on the off side of that, sloppiness drives me crazy. It's like if somebody working for me is sloppy, I'm just done. I'm done. I can't
Uh,
deal.
no, they say be slow to hire and
Yeah.
quick to fire.
Yeah.
And boy, that's the truth.
That's the rule, Belle. The
Yeah.
moment the moment I pick up on the sloppy, it's like it's
Gotta
over
let
for
'em
me. I
go.
gotta breathe. I just can't. And I don't care about mistakes. It's not the mistakes. It's more I can't it's more just a if you make a mistake and it's like, okay, well, I will fix that. But if somebody tries to not want to fix it, then I take
Yeah.
that as I'm done. We're done.
No, yeah.
Yep.
No, I
Yep.
feel you. And I've learned for myself that one, not everybody is gonna be as passionate or care about the
Right.
project as you because it's
Absolutely.
yours.
Right.
Like, and I've had to just accept that, honestly,
Yeah.
like, okay, no one is gonna work harder than me because I
Right.
care about this so much. So in a way, you have to have some sort of, like, empathy and understanding, but you also have to have the boundary of, like, okay, but the work ethic needs to be there.
Hey, you're here. So, first of all, thanks for tuning in today. And since you're already here, you're probably going to want more of this. So, make sure you check out startergirlz.com. That's where you can catch up on any episodes you may have missed. Get signed up for our newsletter so you can stay in the loop on everything we've got going on. And if you're looking to go a little deeper, you can also check out our Starter Girlz Insider community. That's where we take these conversations beyond the podcast with tools, workshops, and real conversation so you can take what you're learning and actually start applying it. So, as I always say, head on over to startergirlz.com and do your thing. 100%. I'm with you,
It's a balance.
girlfriend.
It's a balance.
It
It's a
is.
balance,
Yeah,
Jennifer.
it is, right? I agree with you 100%. The fine line we walk is being creators, right? All right, so
Yes.
tell us about this movie. I'm like, I didn't even know, but so I go and I look this up, and I'm like, okay, we got to talk about this movie. Tell us how this came about, and on like how this all
Okay.
came for you.
Yeah, so 2021, I believe. Yes, it came across me. My agent had sent it to me, and at first I read, "Bit ass? What is this?"
You can totally say it on this show. It's okay. I'm
I
not.
was
You won't
like,
offend me. You heard me
"Bit
say it.
ass?
I won't.
Bit ass?"
That's the cool thing about being a creator over here. I can do whatever I want. I have creative freedom.
Yeah, bitch ass. I was like, "What is this?" But Cricket was such a cool character.
Yeah.
So pretty much the story follows, like, these young gang members want to be initiated into this gang, but to do
Okay.
it, they have to rob a house. But little do they know when they rob this house, it's like this man who still lives there, he's set up these game traps. So think of like Saw meets Michael Myers type of vibe.
All of which I've seen in I'm a horror fan, horror flick fan.
Okay,
So I
okay.
have to
My
check this
family
out
grew
now. I
up
don't even know why I
watching it.
don't know about this. I'm gonna have to check it out now.
Please, please. And the cool thing about this is Tony Todd's in it,
Okay.
Candyman. And what a lot of people don't know is this is apparently the first ever Black serial killer. We've never had a Black serial killer, and this is our community's first one.
Got
And
it.
so, it was a great time on set. The funny thing is my family loves horror. I can't stand horror,
Oh
but
my
my first favorite film
goodness.
was horror, which is so funny.
That is too
But,
funny.
like, I like watching them, but I get paranoid in my head that I'm like, you know what I mean? That's why I have
Yeah.
a boundary with horror. But, yeah, it went to the film festival, South by Southwest in Austin, you know, my fellow Texan. It
Yeah.
did well. It won the audience award winner. And then after that, it did get distributed through Paramount. So it ended up on Paramount Plus, Showtime Plus,
I have
BET
those.
Plus.
I go
But
watch
now
it.
it's on Tubi. Now it's streaming
Okay.
on Tubi.
I have that
So
too.
I know, to be free, so go check it out. And so it's really fun, I have to say, watching them, you'll see me, a lot of people are like, dang, Belle, you're a good actor. You kind of give a different
I'm
vibe.
excited now that I've gotten to
So,
talk to you. I'm so excited. We're gonna be like tonight when my husband says, "What do you want to do?" I'm gonna be like, "We're watching bitch ass, bro.
yeah,
You sitting
watch
down
it.
watching this."
Enjoy it. Let me know what you think. So it was a lot of fun, and it's still a lot of fun. Like, I just watched it a little bit ago while getting my hair done. The
Yeah.
hairdresser, she wanted to watch it, and I was like,
That's
okay,
so
let's do
fun.
it.
Well, how exciting and fun. Like I imagine, like I said, I'm not privy to that because I've never done any acting in that kind of scope. I mean, I do this obviously. I'm not afraid to talk in front of people, but I
Yeah.
think it's fun that you get to be in a space where you get to embody those characters and kind of live vicariously through a character,
Yeah, it is. And it's so fun to make a character because it's not you, but you get to bring aspects of you to the
Right.
character. Like when my friends watched it, so my character is kind of witty. She's funny. And my friends, when they watched it, they're like, "Belle, are you just playing you?" Because like
I
I was
want
in
yeah,
that humor.
well, you strike me not I don't wanna say, like I don't even know how to say wait, I just think you strike me as fun. You strike me as kind of
Oh,
a gregarious, fun, kind of, I I don't like the word witty always makes me feel weird because I feel like it makes us sometimes make us feel airheady, right? Because my husband will tell me he
yeah.
tells me I'm wittier than him, and I'm like, I don't know about that. But okay, but I think you strike me as a fun person to be around. So I guess maybe that would even be my next question is like what type of characters do you tend to like to gravitate towards?
Wow, that's a good question. I do love comedy. My heart is in comedy. Like, I love to make people laugh. I love to see people smile. Like, and I feel like with projects in Hollywood, not saying we have to, but I feel like there is kind of a responsibility to spread light and goodness in
Yeah.
the world. Uplift the vibrations, people.
Yeah.
So I do
Exactly.
like to do that. But I also, like you said, you don't want to be pigeonholed. Like,
Right.
I love trying out new things. I love mysteries. I love fantasy. Like, I love things that make you think. That's like a
Mhm.
puzzle that you have to solve. And so, like, character-wise, I just want characters that, like I said, bring goodness, that make people smile, but also, make people think. I want people to feel something whenever I'm on
Yeah.
screen, if that makes sense.
No, no, I get it. Well, and I
Mhm.
remember I've interviewed, like I said, a couple actresses on here, and we were talking about like I asked one. I remember one time, like, what does that look like when you take on a role? And she's I study the person. Like I think about like what do they eat when they get up in the morning? Like I don't remember all the exact specifics, so don't quote me.
Yeah.
But she was basically adopting that character, right? And learning everything about that. And I was actually telling my husband that I'm like, that would be kind of cool because you like take this character and you're like, okay, what would this character look like? What would this
Yeah.
character like who would be the people that hang around this character? Like what would they do for fun? You know what I mean? And so I would think we would tend to, like maybe we want to do different, but I know I would probably I would be like this would be my character. My character would be that like the devil wears Prada.
Okay. Which one? Meryl Streep?
The only reason I'm saying that is because I'm joking about I have these big glasses that I wear, and I have a friend that tells me that all the time. You're fired because I wear my big glasses. I was only joking about that. But I
I
always
love
think about that. Like, what kind of characters, like if I had to pick characters and I was doing this, I'd be like, they'd give me the mother role or the career woman or just the mean person. That would be my role. They'd be like, we're going to put her in that one because she's direct and she can tell people to do what they need
to
to
do
do,
what they need to do.
So
I feel like I could see you as a good cop too.
I could be a
Like,
good cop, yeah.
like, "Listen, we gotta do this."
That's
Like,
right.
interrogation, I don't know, I could see you doing that. You're
I'd be
getting
like,
caught,
"You're
detective,
not getting out of
PI.
this alive." I'm just kidding. But see, I told you we were gonna have fun today. It's Friday
Yay.
afternoon. We can have a little
It
fun
is
sometimes on this show. You
Friday.
know what I mean? We can have some fun. And like I said, I can tell you're a fun person. So I would love to know, and I like I don't know how old you are, but like in this industry, because like I said, so many people like they're on this side. It's like you're in the business sector where you're like talking about like you're an accountant, a lawyer, a doctor,
Mhm.
engineer, right? And then you've got the creative side over here, which is like we're talking about acting, music, things like
Yeah.
what I do, right? They're different worlds, but we talk about this often that you have to get really good at using both sides of your brain. You've got to be able to do both in business, right? Because
You do.
us as creators, it's so
Yes.
easy and I don't know about you, but at least for me, it's so easy to love what I do that if you start talking to me about like business plan, I'm like, I don't want to do all that. I just want to do what want to. I just want to have fun
No.
doing what I'm doing. It's not that I don't know how. I just don't like worrying about that side of things. So I'm curious to know from you, like how you feel about that perspective and how that has been, in your world, like as you're building this out now and really trying to make this into something for yourself.
Whew, Jennifer.
I know. That was a
It's
loaded one, wasn't it?
And it's a journey because you're absolutely right. You have to know the business side and the creative side. And I guess it goes back to that word of like balance because there could be times where I'm so focused on creative, like, okay, getting the script right or focus on booking a job or acting or classes or whatever. And then you forget, hold on, now I got to look at my materials. I got to be connecting. I got to be networking, and then sometimes I could be so caught up in the business aspect, having meetings, telling people about myself or like,
Right.
making connections or updating materials, websites, all that stuff, then I'm like, "Oh, hold on, I haven't written in a while," or I haven't, sharpened my craft.
Mhm.
So that's why, like, sometimes when I think of that, like you said, accounting and everything, um, that's why people have a team.
Yeah,
Can we talk
amen.
about it? Can we talk about it? Because
Yeah.
just from some people that I see, whether they're musicians or something, that's why they have a manager or someone that they can trust to
Right,
handle that business side so they can focus on the artistry. Because I think we're human at the end of the day, we can only do so
right,
much. Now, I'm not saying ignore the business side and just let
right,
someone completely take over because that's when you can get, taken advantage of or blindsided. But know enough, but there has to be that balance so you can focus on the creative. So to say that, I feel like I'm now well, starting last year, I started adding more people to my team, whether that's like producers to help like get my show picked up and like so I'm not doing everything because I was in a place of where I'm doing the business side, like, okay, we need to be meeting with these people, need to be meeting with these people. But it's like, okay, but Belle, we also need you to like focus on the script, focus on the craft, focus on the characters, making that as sharp as possible. But from the film aspect, we need budgeting, we need money to make our projects. I can't do everything, and I
right,
was doing everything. But once I got producers on my team, they started being like, Belle, we're gonna be reaching out to people. We're gonna be doing this now. And at first I was still doing it, but then I had to learn to, okay, let me trust these people to do
right,
what I've put them on my team to do. So I can focus on making my pilot or my show the strongest it can be. So when we do get to an NBC or a CBS, I can present the strongest because they're not just hiring me to network with people. They're hiring me for the work that
right.
I'm presenting. And that's when that hit me. So all that to say is like, yes, we do have to like know both sides, but you need to be able to trust people to kinda take that load off, or you're gonna be overloaded and burnt out, and that's kinda what
Yeah.
happened to me last year, to be honest.
Yeah, no, and you're right. And I think that goes for any business really. If you're trying to do all the
Yeah,
things, wear all the hats, then you're gonna get to a point where you're gonna be, I can't keep this up, or you're gonna crash, or you're gonna fizzle out, right? Like
yeah,
you're gonna not want to continue doing what you're doing. So I agree with you. I mean, it's one of the things we used to talk about. So funny. We would talk about in training with Mary Kate. It was like delegate, delegate, delegate. But
delegate.
of course, we say all that, right? But when you're starting something, of course, you've got to have the money to do the things that you need to do. So sometimes you have to work in these things, and that's kind of, I'm sure you've done the same thing like a lot of us do in the creator space, is that as we have more capability to do things, we expand our team and our reach, and that gives us more freedom to focus on the things we want to do. And so good for
Yeah.
you. That's awesome.
It's a journey to learn those things, but once you
Yeah.
learn it, it's like, "Okay, it's time to apply."
Yeah. I love that. It's time to apply. It's time to own it,
Yes.
right? Own
Life
it.
is like, "Okay, girl, get it together."
So tell us a little about the filmmaking, like what you're doing. Are you making shorts? You working on videos, advertise? What are we doing with all that?
Wow, yes. So right now I am in post-production on a
Okay.
documentary short film, actually
Cool.
with Juan that you know.
Fun. Yeah.
And so we're in the editing process with that, and so I'm excited for whenever that's done, then we'll do the film festival circuit. I made another short film with the NAACP,
Okay.
and so that's kinda like a family, fantasy kinda short film. So right
Love it.
now we're into the distribution process, like, putting it in film festivals, just getting it out there. And then lastly, yeah, I'm writing. I have a pilot that my team has been pushing, like, we've been showing different studios around town, so it's just a matter of time for one of these people to say yes.
I love it.
And so, yeah, so we're kinda all over the board. With that as well, I am acting. Actually as well, like I told you, January will make 8 years in LA, but I did a musical theater tour in Italy for the last 3 months.
Oh
So
my
I just got
goodness,
back this
wow.
month in April. I was, we were traveling throughout Italy to different schools performing, like, children's musical theater. So it's funny when you brought up doing what you did as a kid because I was around kids again and performing for kids like I did when I was a kid, like, you know
Mhm.
what I mean? So, that was a lot of
Funny how that
fun.
is.
So it's like balancing performing and then, like I said, like, I can't do it all, so I have a team that, like, while I was away in Italy, like, they're still making the connections, pushing the projects forward, so
Yeah.
blessed enough to say, we're getting that balance in.
It's a process. You said it, a journey. I mean, I think you get smarter and you get better and you know what to do and what not to do. And it's never perfect, but I think you keep plugging away. And the beautiful thing about this is like, if it's something you really enjoy doing, you probably don't really see it. I mean, you see it as work, but not as
Yeah,
work at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Like if
yeah,
somebody said to you, "Could you do this for free and live?" You'd probably be like, "Yeah, I would." Right? I mean, but we
yeah.
gotta have money. We gotta live and survive and all the things. And so it's like, I think in the creative space that it is that way for a lot of people. In fact, I was on a cruise. I was on a 10-day cruise, and they have
Mm,
performers at the end of the night. Of course, I love to go to theater, watch performers. Well, two different times they had. I mean, we were there 10 nights, so we had pretty much every single night there was something. They had an former Olympian there. They had a band come in that they were doing like Frankie Valley, which is like Greece, the
oh,
theme song from
wow.
Greece, but they were from LA, I guess Vegas thing. And then they had another singer there, and both of these got up there on different nights, and they got up, and I could just tell by watching them perform they were having a good time. Like, they really,
Yeah.
truly enjoyed what they were doing. I could just tell. I mean, and both of them at the end of their performances or somewhere towards the end made a comment, said something about that, "Thank you for coming out. I really enjoy doing this, or we really enjoy doing this." And so you knew because you could feel it. You could just tell by the
Yeah,
way they were performing, the way they were behaving. I mean, you just felt it. And so that's why I made that comment, because I do think a lot of
you're right.
I don't speak for you, but for myself, we do what we do because we truly enjoy what we're doing, and if it was sucky, we
100%.
wouldn't do it. You know what I mean?
And just to add to your point about, like, doing it for free, shoot, when you start, you doing it for free anyways. I've been doing
You
this for free for a long time.
you are doing it for free in the beginning.
Ye
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it shows, yeah, like you said, your love for it, your passion for it, and it just grows from there. So, yeah, I love that, and I love that you brought up cruises because, yeah, 'cause we're going on a cruise in August, so I can't wait. I can't
They're
wait.
fun. Oh my gosh, we got another one in July. They're taking the kids on that one. We're doing another one, like the same cruise. Somehow we're getting on the same cruise liner, same people. Don't ask me how we did it, but we did it. It's going to be amazing. But listen, you know what? I was going to tell you something. Oh, I just saw yesterday. I saw something online because I'm in this podcasting network thing. It's like where they match host with guest kind of thing. So that's another platform that I
Mm.
have that I go through sometimes. I begin so many outside of that, I hardly even have to get in there anymore. But he was talking about how the podcasting industry has such a high turnover, like they move so quickly. And
Mhm.
I'm like, I've been building this show for 7 years now, and there's never
Oh,
been a day. Let me say this. I'm not going to never say that I haven't been frustrated. I'm not going to ever say that I haven't gotten mad about something. I'm not going to ever lie and say that I just haven't been like, ugh. But there's never been a day I'm like, that's it. I'm not doing the podcast anymore. There's never been a day. There in
yeah,
7 years, there's never
wow.
been a day. And from the very beginning, what I will tell you from the very beginning, I never started the podcast to get rich. Never did I start it to get rich. I
Wow.
started it because I had a message I wanted to spread. I wanted to create positivity in a world where we don't get a lot of that. I was trying to find a way. I was also trying to find a way to talk about some of the things that I had gone through, how I had healed myself in that process, and I needed a platform to do that. But the
Yeah.
point I'm trying to tell you is that today I had a conversation with somebody the other day. Now, fast forward 7 years later, the show is moving now. We put it on the C-suite platform, so the audio starting to move. In fact, I think yesterday I looked at my numbers and I had like a 200% increase or something like that from month. I was like, what the heck? It was like insane. But even in YouTube, now we're getting close to approaching 40,000 listeners. But here's where the
Mm.
beauty of this is because I'm having these conversations with people, and I'm like, "Do you make money off the podcast?" And I'm like, "Dude, I've interviewed over 600 people." That right there to me is you can't put that's there's you can't put
Yeah,
it.
you can put a price tag on it.
I have
Mhm.
met so many incredible people all over the world, and they've led me to other doors and led me other doors. But here's where it gets interesting. Because you start having this following, then you have people that start reaching out to you, and they're like, "Hey, we wanna put people on your show," well, and all that, right? But the other day, I got 2 of them, and I've had a lot of these, but the 2 specifically, they wrote me and said, "How much would you charge to have, an integrated video or write a review?" Or and I'm like, "Oh, now I'm in a different position now because now I'm having to write a proposal on
Mm.
how much somebody will pay me to do a video for them." You see what I'm saying? And so
Mm.
the point I'm trying to make is that we're having these dialogues and the people on the other side that are not in the influencer space or not in the creative space don't understand that
Yeah.
dialogue that we're having, and it's a very different dialogue. But the other thing I want to say about that is this is a long game. Right? This is a long game, and if you're going into
That's
this
all.
creative space with this intent that the first thing you're gonna turn in and do is gonna be the thing that's going to make you rich, you better buckle up and back up. You know what I mean? And pause
So
because I don't
true.
know about your industry, but I can tell you even here, if you go into the podcasting world thinking your podcast is gonna be Joe Rogan's, you wanna back up. Just back up, back up. Stay in your lane and figure out I'm just saying stay in your lane, figure out what your gift
Yeah.
is and figure out what you can bring and add
Mhm.
value and
Yeah.
focus on that. Doesn't mean you don't put a business plan together, but focus on how you're gonna add value. I'm now building out it's funny, I'm now building out a community, like, I'm, actually a paid, like, it's very nominal, again, I'm not looking to get rich, but a very nominal subscription type deal, not for the podcast, but for a part of it.
Mhm.
And so it's a long game.
It is a long game. I have to agree with you on that because it's funny. I think it's, naive to think that once you get in, you're just gonna get it because that was me. I can only speak for myself. Like, when I first
Right.
went to film school, I was like, "Okay, yeah. Well, let's go get this Emmy."
I think you're still gonna do it, though. I think you're gonna do it. I think you're gonna do it. It's coming.
Thank you.
You're big. I mean, you've already had some cool breaks, but you're gonna
Thank
have
you.
a lot of cool breaks. You're gonna have a lot of them.
Thank you. I appreciate that, but it took time. Like I told you,
Mhm,
I've been in LA 8 years.
mhm.
Like, and I thought the first year, "Okay, yeah, where's my Emmy? I'm getting this now." And the Lord will humble you.
Amen. He says, "Belle, not yet."
Yes, and I'm grateful for it as well because like you said, you learn a lot, you meet a lot of people, there's a lot of gems along the way that isn't just that
Mhm.
instant win, like, something Oprah Winfrey said that I heard her say was that, something she wished she could have told her younger self was, like, "Just enjoy the journey." Like,
Yes.
like, you're gonna get it, and I think a lot of times people wanna get to that, like you said, Joe Rogan level, like, instantly or that Emmy instantly, but it's
Mhm.
like, it's actually about the journey, not to sound corny, but it is actually about the journey and not the destination,
It
because
is.
the journey is beautiful, like, I'm meeting you, like, you said you met all those people and, like, I've worked so many jobs that taught me so much. Like, I would rather have that and get to the destination that way than just instantly and miss out on so many beautiful moments, even the sad moments or the mad moments, or like you said, because it's not all perfect, but I think that's what makes it beautiful. Like, like beauty isn't just perfection, it's the mistakes, it's well, mistakes, the failures, or like, the different avenues that you take. That's what makes the journey beautiful. Like when we watch movies, like Superman, I don't want him to just be the Joker off the bat. Hold on, is that his villain? You know what I mean? I don't want him to
Yeah,
beat him off the bat. Why am I going to the movie? I want to see the kryptonite, make him fall down and how he gets back up again.
right.
Like cuz that's what inspires people at the end of the day like, okay, I can still get back up.
Yeah. Well, and I'm a sucker for a good story. So that's why I like telling stories and having people tell stories. I'm like, there's nothing but you're right. And that's what it's so great whenever I get one of these stories in here that come in here every once in a while that are just I had one I did, I think was it yesterday or the day before that the oh you gotta look him up. He's a federal police officer and he has a
Mhm.
canine dog. Canine's got cancer but he was his partner and he told this whole story about how when he went back to get partnered up with this dog had all these labels that he wasn't bonding, all of these things. And so he was kind of a little I don't know what the word is, but hesitant when he took the dog on, but then they bonded. And he was
Oh,
his partner for 7 years and they tore his ACL and they put him into retirement. Well, then he got cancer. And
mhm.
so he felt that this dog had been very loyal to him during this time and that it was his duty to pay that back to this dog and to help him. And so he ended up getting a canine nonprofit to help him. But the story, Bell, just goes crazy because I asked him the question of, like, did you have dogs growing up? I mean, how did you, and he said that, that his dad had left at a very young age. And so his mom, I guess, had noticed he always felt like an outsider, kind of misunderstood all these labels that he had and so when he would go to places, he said, like, his mom would notice he was always gravitating towards the
Mm.
animals. Well, the story kinda rounded out.
Wow.
He got connected back his dad reached out to him, and his dad had cancer, and the dog became the vehicle for their communication, and so he was able to get closure with his dad, and his dad was able to spend time with his young son, and so what he had never gotten, he was able to give to his son. Son had a grandfather for a short period. Well, when he jumped on this week, his dad had just passed 2 weeks ago. So
Wow.
we get through this is like a story. That is a movie. Like, and he
It
talked about
is.
how he just wrote a children's book and he's working on a memoir and then eventually wanted to make like some kind of a, I guess, a documentary film or something. But there's a story, right? Like there
Wow.
is one all about loss and redemption and
It
all of
is.
the things. And so, yes, a good story is always a good story.
Yes. No, 100%. That's so inspiring. That's beautiful.
I almost cried in that one, Belle. I don't typically cry unless I'm mad. I told him, I said, Chris, you almost made me cry in this one. I was, like, trying to hold it back. He tells me something, I'm like, "Hold on." I'm like, "It's bad enough. I got the dog." He's got this d I'm a dog. I'm a an animal
Yeah.
person. He's got this dog back here. I'm like, "It's bad enough I know the dog story," and I follow him. Then he starts telling me the story about his dad, and I'm like, "I can only imagine this person walks back into your life, and now you have to go through
Yeah.
this and work through all of that because his dad just passed. So you have to work through all of this, and stuff." But he got the closure, he said,
Wow.
yeah, it was
It's
good.
just a full circle moment, and that's the thing, it'll all make sense. Cause probably at the beginning, you're probably like, "What? Why do I need to meet this dog?" Okay. But then
Well,
it
I wanted to meet him anyways because I was like I wanted to tell the story of the dog, but I didn't realize there was more to the story. And then he just launched a book. I mean, all of this just
wow,
happened.
awfulness.
Yeah, like he had just launched this book, and I didn't even know he had done that yet because when we first kind of we had we kept we couldn't quite get connected to do it, and we finally got it worked out, and it was like great. But then he's like, "Yeah, I wrote a book last month." I'm like, "Oh, cool! I didn't even know you did that." So yeah, cool stuff. That
Wow.
might be that he's gonna need some producers or directors to
Okay.
help him with that. I'm thinking I
Put
might
them
need
in
to
contact.
see, talk about networking and connections, right?
Yeah.
That's how this all comes about, the networking. So, in all your work that you've done some great things, and like I said, I know you're gonna do like a bunch of things. You're young. You're gonna be doing a lot of amazing things. What would you say you're like most proud of?
Wow. Honestly, what I'm most proud of, it's probably not even a project. I think I'm most proud of, like, my inner strength to keep going.
It's
Because
good.
like, on this journey of artistry, as you may know, like, you do have a lot of ups and downs. You're fighting yourself, I think, at the end of the day, like, your mind, like, "Can I do this? Can I" like, the tying it back into the ultimate question at the beginning, like, the difference between wanting it and actually, like, going after it and becoming who you need to be to hold it.
Right.
And through that journey, there have been moments of like, should I do this? Should I not do this? Should I do something else? Oh my goodness, can I really do this? Okay, I really want this. I'm gonna do it anyways, you know? And then you're not just dealing with like career ups and downs, but you're dealing with personal stuff as well. Like, I lost my brother to suicide. Like,
I'm sorry.
at the end of 2024, going into 2025, so that's why I said
Wow.
last year was, like, a really hard year where I
Yeah.
didn't know if I wanted to
Sorry.
keep doing this at all. Like, you know, especially because I have a big family and we're so tight-knit, and being in LA, you're like, "Dang, I've been away from my family." Like, you make a lot of sacrifices,
Right,
you know?
right.
So then you're just like, "Dang, should I keep doing this? Or should I stop?" But then, like, you have that support system. Like, for me, it is my family. They're like, "No, keep going. You've been doing this, you know, so far. Like, you know, don't stop now." And then, like, going back to LA after that, like, you know, there was a lot of mental stuff going on in my
Sure.
mind, like, "Dang, can I do this? Should I do this?" You know? But it's that strength that you're like, "No, let's." You're taking it one day at a time, you're getting up, you know, you're fighting that battle, and then now I can say I'm in a way better place, like, you know, also doing, like, the musical theater tour in Italy, like, just doing that and, like, giving back to, like, these children performing for them. It's like, wow, like, there is beauty, and that's why I think I meant, like, even the bad parts can come out to be beautiful again, because I did musical theater and my brother sang, and I hadn't sang in a while, and it's like, you know, and then bringing that back out in me, you know, like, to get into that other side of the artistry, like singing, musical theater, something I did as a child that I can do again that's healing. And when you're healing yourself, you're healing others as well. Like, you know, because
Yeah.
people can feel that, and you're, like I said, wanting to put that goodness back into the world. And so with that, the proudest thing I am is my inner strength to keep doing this thing
I
because
love it. No,
a lot
I
of
think
people
it's great.
quit, and a lot of
Yeah.
people give up, and I've seen it, you know?
Mhm.
Or I'll never forget this conversation I had with this girl when I was in college, when I first decided to go to film school. She said something like, "Yeah, Belle, like, I always dreamt of being a singer, but I know I can't do it. Like, I'm too shy. Like, that's why I'm gonna study rocks," which is still cool. Geology's still cool. Even I wanna get into, you know,
Rocks are
studying
cool.
stuff. They are, but she was like, "That's why I'm doing this because even though I really wanna be a singer, like, I can't do it. Like, that's good that you're going after it because I can't do it." And I remember looking at her like, "Girl, what? Why don't
Yeah.
you just
You're like,
just
"Just
do
do
it
it."
if you want to." But the reason I bring her up is because a lot of people think like her.
Right.
Like, I do wanna do this, but I know I can't. Like you said, the difference between wanting it
Oh,
and
yeah.
going after it, and sometimes it's just comfortable to dream about it and to keep it as
Mhm.
a dream.
Mhm.
Like, and I'm realizing that about myself, like, the higher I go in my career and the more things I accomplish, it can be scary. Like, going up like, "Oh, crap, I'm actually doing this." Like, it was scary for me to go to Italy. I've never been across the world like that.
Yeah.
Like, it can be scary to take those leaps into something that you really want or you're really passionate in, because it's like, "Hold on, now." I remember even being nervous doing bitch ass because I was like, "Hold on, this is an actual movie set?" I was like, "What?"
You're like,
Like
"What?"
like, "What's going on?" But the more you go up, it could be nerve-wracking, like, "Hold on, I'm now becoming what I've always wanted to be because 'cause it'll come. It'll come.
Mhm.
It'll come,
Mhm.
but you gotta be ready for it." So, a lot of
Yeah,
people, I
yeah.
think, push it out and just be like, "Yeah, I can't do it." Like, because it's more just comfortable to just dream about it or safer. But it's like, no, you have to have that what? Inner strength. You gotta to keep pushing and
Yeah.
if you really want it at the end of
I
the day.
agree. I agree, and thank you for saying that. I think that's all good, and sorry to hear about your brother. I didn't know that, so sorry to hear about that.
Oh, no, it's
Um Yeah, it's you do have to have inner strength, and I do think that all of these things you said are so they're powerful because I was gonna say, when you talked about like you're doing these scary things and then you go back and yeah, you look at the things you did before and you're like, oh, that's nothing. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like I've had conversations, they say like the number one fear for people is public speaking, right? Like that is the number one fear for people. Like I obviously clearly don't have any trouble talking. I've talked on stages. But it's so funny because I was telling somebody one day how we're recording this right now. And the only reason that I record these episodes, I could do them live, but you know why? Because I have to put an intro and an outro, and I don't want to have all that ready. I want to take my time. Like, it's really just a comfortable thing. It gives me time to, like, because here's the thing, Bill, when I say that, like we talked about in the beginning, doing all the pieces, there's not really a whole lot of edits I have to do to the video itself, unless we have a technical issue or spacing our head, to make sure we look,
Yeah.
but really there's not a whole lot of edits I do for that. So it's not really a matter of, oh my God, I'm worried about how we look. Can we not go live? It's really just that. But here's the crazy thing. If I have to go and do like a stupid Facebook live or something or whatever, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like, I gotta plan this out. Like, I seriously gotta think about this." And it's not
Yeah.
even so much, but I'm just saying it's not as natural to me. Okay, we gotta do a podcast. Let's get on. You saw me, like, we got on here. I'm like, I couldn't even find my freaking notes when we started. I'm like, I it's nothing for me to hop on a podcast and just jump on it. And we're gonna go, and
Mhm.
I've gone into like do, like public speaking things or whatever, or gone somewhere and I've known that I'm gonna do it and not really even put a whole lot of planning thought into it, and I've just gone out there, "This is what I'm gonna talk about today," and I'll just go do it, and I'm fine. But the
Yeah.
minute I gotta do and I gotta start planning and, like, I gotta think about it and it's gonna be you know what I mean? It's like I start getting anxious about it, and I feel like I have to over prep, and then if I over prep, then I'm not natural.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know
It
what I
takes
mean?
you out.
Then I get
Mhm.
in there, let me read. That's why you see me, like, I'll print these notes out, but I very seldom just read them verbatim because I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna get out of the conversation. Now I'm not listening because I'm thinking about what I gotta say, and yeah,
Mhm.
you know. I need to like, you just gotta if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna have to memorize those questions like a script. That'd be me. I get up to act and be like, "We're gonna make a whole new script out of this today." It's not the
You're a
character has
natural,
now
though.
evolved.
You're a
So
natural. You got it.
I guess, I don't know, but you are awesome. So what anybody listening to this right now, we've talked about a lot of things today. We've talked about, the business side, like touching upon that, the grit,
Yes.
long game, all of these things. So anybody right now maybe sitting on fence, maybe there's somebody right now that is thinking, hey, I like this Belle girl, and man, she's got me kind of I think hopefully they listen to both of us today. They're inspired. We got them thinking they need to do
Yeah.
something, make a move. What would you
You
say
got
to
it.
them? What would you say to that person that's sitting on the fence right now and wanting to take that step, but they're just not quite moving?
Just do it. If it's on your mind, if it's on your heart, you're meant to do it, and God got you, honestly. Like, I will never forget when I first moved to LA, I went to the Steve Harvey show, and I remember he brought up the fact that God gave you that vision for a reason, Like, it didn't just come out of nowhere. So if you have a vision of, like, what you wanna do or your life, like, you gotta trust that you can carry yourself through, God can carry you through, universe, whatever you believe in, is gonna carry you through, okay?
Awesome.
And it'll come out to be better than you ever expected, honestly. That's
Yeah,
something I would say.
that's good. I love it. And give yourself grace, right? Just be okay with
And
the
give
process.
yourself grace. Yes, because like we've said, I think throughout this whole podcast, life is a journey and to enjoy it, honestly, enjoy every step of learning, of growing, because it's beautiful. It's like the saying about a plant, right? Like we have the ground, and then once you put the seed in, which is your idea, your thought, you may not immediately see it poke through the ground because it's growing those roots
Right.
first. So you have a stable foundation. So when it does poke up, baby, you just gonna grow, you just gonna bloom, and
It's
nothing gonna
ready.
cut you down. The wind can't blow you down because what? Those roots are deep.
That's right. I
So
love it.
yeah, so yeah. And so yeah, like you said, grace, patience, that's something I've had to learn a lot. And like I said, yeah, and enjoy the journey.
So awesome. All right. Well, Miss Bell, you know what? I'm going to check out your movie. I'm going to check this movie out because I'm excited to check it. It's a horror flick. So, I'm on it. I'm
It
on it.
is.
I'm
It
already
is.
on it. I love it. And you were mentioning all them shows. Like I've seen all them Saws. I've seen all the Halloweens. I've seen all of them.
Yes.
I was trying to like, what did I see recently? What have I watched? I feel like every time something comes out, my husband does not like horror flicks. I'm like, dude, we're going to the movies. There's a horror flick. We got to go. So,
You'll enjoy this one. It's not that scary.
yeah,
It's fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to watch it. And I also want to say too that I'm going to follow you so I can keep up with what you're doing. You're going to do
Oh,
some great things. I'm excited to see what you do as you keep unfolding in your journey and growing. And you've already got a great energy, and I can tell you. I mean, I don't even know, but I have a feeling this character is going to be fun for me to watch. So I think
oh yes, you're gonna enjoy it. And I'm following you too, Jennifer. Definitely DM me once you guys watch it, what you think.
I'm gonna check it out. So I do want to say, of course, our audience is probably somebody plugging in is going to want to follow you. They're going to want to find out more about
Oh,
you, what
yeah.
you've got going on. Where do you want us to send them so we can make sure we get them in the right place?
You know what? You could go to the IG. Everyone got the IG, the Instagram. My username is at Belle Peppa. Get it? Belle Peppa, Belle
Oh,
Pepper.
Peppa. Yep, I
Papa.
got it. I got it.
So BellePeppah. Peppa. Belle
I
Peppa.
got it. I love
Or
it.
my name, Belle Guillory. You'll find me there. Yeah. Plug in. Yeah. All the
Love it.
updates will be there. And I
I
have
love it.
links in my bio to see all my work. So yeah.
All right. Well, girl, you keep claiming it and owning it because that's what's going to get you
Yeah.
to the next place you need to be. And the more, and I always say, we're always,
No.
everything we need to know comes from a conversation. So the more conversations and the more people you get in front of, the more you get out there and get connected with in the right places. So,
Amen. Thanks, Jennifer. Oh,
yeah.
thank you so much for having me. This has been so fun.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
congrats on all you've accomplished too
Thank you.
with this
Thank you.
podcast. Like 7 years, that they say for a pistachio, sure, pistachio, I don't know if you know. Pistachios. This is my last
I like
metaphor. I feel like
pistachios.
I've had so many. But pistachios are known to be a
Yeah.
luxurious produce. And their first produce doesn't happen until 7, 8 years. So the fact that
Okay.
you've been doing it, like, and
Yeah.
then it blooms into a crazy amount after, like, I think they say like 10 to
Yeah.
15. So that's where that patience comes in. And see, you've already had that first big produce, like 44,000 like
Yeah.
viewers, like that's crazy. So it's
Yeah.
just gonna keep growing.
Yeah, it was reminding me, Ripley Rader, she's got the Ponte pants, and she was on this show years ago. She came on and she told this story. You can look up the Ponte pants. They're like slimming
Oh,
pants. They make everybody look long and tall. But she tells this story about how I think she was in existence for like 10 years, and then somebody wore her pants on the Today Show. And that was her big break, and so now you can find them, look them up, you're gonna be like, "Oh, they are the neatest sleek pants
oh
because
wow.
anybody can wear them, they make you look long." But she's now extended and expanded her brand, her clothing line is big, but that's what she's known for is those Ponte pants.
Wow.
So, 10 years,
So,
and then
and that makes sense. Pistachio
mhm,
tree, once you have something that's really a
mhm,
good product,
yep,
that's why it takes a little longer because it's just gonna
yeah,
take over the
yeah,
world. I'm just
that's right.
kidding.
Well, we'll make sure, Belle, when we get these show notes all put together, we'll get that Instagram link in there so everybody can, check you out, follow you, do all the things, and we'll, like I said, we'll keep watching to see how you do and what other movies come out in the works so we can check them out. So
I know, I'm
excited.
excited.
Yep.
Okay, well, thank you guys so much.
Yep.
Bye.
All right. And of course, to our audience, we want to tell you we love you and appreciate you. And you know the drill. Follow Belle. And of course, if you like the episode, we hope you found it both informative and inspiring. And if you did, do all the things like, share, comment, subscribe, so we can keep sharing all of these stories and supporting our fellow creators, entrepreneurs, all those people as well. And as I always say, in order to live the extraordinary, you must start, and every start begins with a decision. You guys
Mm.
take care, be safe, be kind to one another, and we will see you next time.